This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Oh, you know what? That's my first question then. You're from Bulgaria. Everybody knows that. But did you discover wrestling when you moved to the United States, or were you a fan the whole time?
No, I was, I think I was about 6 or 7 years old when I saw, first time I saw a tape of Hulkamania. And that's what my first introduction was to professional wrestling. And ever since, it was just a wild hunt across my town to find more tapes to watch wrestling. And that's how I first got introduced.
So it wasn't aired on TV, was it?
No. We barely had color TVs at the time. And I had to find like VHS tapes, which were very difficult to find. Right. And then eventually the cable TV came, 96 or whatever. We started watching the Attitude Era and WCW, and it was a smooth sailing from then.
Yeah, you became a loyal fan then, huh?
Yeah.
So, Miro, I got to ask, you mentioned Hulkamania and trying to chase down the tapes. Was there one, you know, a lot of people talk about WrestleMania 3, Hogan, Andre. Do you remember the first big match you remember seeing with Hulk?
I vividly remember the Hulkamania tape, Sergeant Slaughter having the clutch, and I feel like they stayed there. I think the show went off air. I think while him having a commercial, and it seems like Sarge had him there for like 10 minutes. And you know, and this is Hulk Hogan. We've never seen this before, and I remember it just like imprinted in my mind how he was so bad. He was so bad, and later on, when I started wrestling and all that, I was always wondering, why can't we do this now? Why can't we have the bad guy beat up the good guy and go on top for a little bit? You know, we never go this. We never do this anymore.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. I love to hear when we get to have folks on, especially, you know, guys that are in the business now. What was your first memory of wrestling? Who you were a fan of? What was that first match? And definitely remember the Sergeant Slaughter, the big heel turn. And he was Mr. USA all the way until he had that big heel turn. But I also want to ask you a little bit about your past experience as both a power lifter and Sambo artist. What can you tell us about that?
Well, I just grew up loving sports. I grew up, I think this is another memory that it came into my mind. My mom taking me to a doctor. The doctor said, you know, because I was getting sick very often. And the doctor said, you know, just sign him up for some sports. You know, this is going to, you know, make him stronger. And that's exactly what happened. I don't know. Then I started doing judo. Then, you know, I saw wrestling on TV. So I told my mom to take me to a wrestling school. So she took me to a, you know, amateur wrestling, which is like 10 minutes away from my house, because we have amateur wrestling everywhere in Bulgaria. And then went in the building. I was like, "There's no ropes. There's no ring. What is this place?"
The real wrestling.
Real wrestling. This is, you know, Kurt's love, but it was not my love. I tried. I don't know. They beat me up really bad for a little bit, and I was too young, so I quit on that. And then I started judo. I did Muay Thai a lot. I did all kinds of combat sport, karate. Then eventually fell in love with basketball. Rowing, because my mom was a rower. I tried wrestling again because, you know, I was not discovered, but this coach came and he's like, "You're a huge kid, and not many kids are grown like you anymore." So he trying to take me under his wing. But, you know, Kurt, when something is not yours, when you don't love it, it doesn't matter how much somebody believes in you. You just don't care about it. But it doesn't matter, because I jumped from sport to sport to sport. But then I got to utilize all this now in the ring. I got my hops from basketball, my endurance from rowing. I got the judo and all the kind of background stuff and throwing and kicking. So I was so blessed that I got to do all these sports, and now I get to utilize.
And they all worked into the one for professional wrestling, which is awesome.
Yeah. And that's what the beautiful thing about professional wrestling is. You can have any kind of background and you can utilize it and use it in the sport.
You're absolutely right, man.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.